Hello and welcome to the Friday, May 6th edition of the Kubernetes Contributor Comms or Upstream Marketing Team meeting. We are a subproject of SIG ContribEx, which is part of the Kubernetes project, which is part of the CNCF, which is part of the Linux Foundation, which means that we...
I love how you just did that so quickly.
Yeah, I just...
Bravo. Sorry for interrupting.
No, I love it. I've been doing that the last couple of times and I always feel ridiculous, but also it's valid.
It's
so
good to know where you are in the world. Yeah.
But why I was saying that is because we have a code of conduct that we follow. So basically be excellent to each other, be respectful of your fellow participants and fellow speakers. And let's dive into it. So let's see here.
Okay, I've got the link.
We've got a few updates, big wins to start off with. Ray, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, so the February community, so the blog post for the February community meeting has been published.
Yay!
Nice. Finally.
Yes.
Sorry, everyone, everywhere.
That's all right. And I believe there won't be a March one, but I will have one from April.
And it's just on kates.dev?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like
I
think several balls got dropped along the way, but I think we've all been extra busy. Part of this was on me, and I've been out as well, so I take full responsibility for that. My bad, priorities.
It happens.
All right, so I'm going to, never mind. I'll save.
Thank you so much, Ray, for pushing that through, though.
Yes. And seriously, somebody at work today said, "Hey, you have a PR on one of your repos that's good to merge. It's from when you were gone."
Ooh,
you're welcome.
Yeah.
So like if I've missed something, feel free to tag me.
That'll happen. I also need to make sure that I log into GitHub on my new phone. I switched to a new phone last week. So
fancy you. I need to get like another phone for just notifications, and then have like a clean phone. Lot. Yeah. Like basically I need to get an what is it called? The iPod Touch. That's really what I need, just for notifications. It's just bad.
Also, another one that I put on for you, Ray.
Oh, thank you. Yes, the 124 was released on Tuesday. So the CNCF's release webinar is scheduled for May 24. So this is a little bit sooner or earlier than we expected. So I just want to put that out there. And there's a link out to the webinar site.
Which I am shocked by. Shocked that is already ready. Usually it takes several months after the release for them to do the webinar, but now they're doing it like right after KubeCon. So, okay.
Yeah, they're on the ball.
On the ball. Cool. So we need to make sure that we tweet about that. There's also a few other release related tweets. I guess I'll go ahead and mention. The feature blogs are going to be coming out throughout KubeCon. So I think we should try to schedule those to go out alongside the KubeCon EU tweets if we can, but also that's kind of tricky because I don't know when in the day the blogs will be out.
Yeah, that's annoying.
I mean, I can just keep an eye on them, but
this is when like I wish the Twitter bot was working. I wish the RSS thing we were talking about was working. This is when I wish we had buffer and if this then that, even a free account could get us RSS to Twitter, right? Like
we can actually get the dates from the comms team, from the release team. Usually we have a set of dates when we're going to release them.
We have them, just we don't know when in the day those blogs will come out.
Like
so
okay,
it's kind of tricky there.
That's in them. We would have to go like look at the timestamps in the actual repos, which I'm sure they're out there already.
Yeah, it's very tricky. Like even if they're merged already, it's when Netlify builds it, and I'm trying to find when that is triggered. I want to say 3 a.m., but I don't even know what time zone. Someone told me 3 a.m. one time, but they never
sounds
clarified.
right. But like, I want to say it's like 0700 UTC or something like that, right? Like,
I'm trying to find some more info.
So if we can find out when the Netlify thing runs, then that's what
really matters. Yeah,
we can plan to just tweet it a little bit after that if we can find the links that the blogs will be at. Sounded slightly tricky, but definitely doable.
Yes,
that I could find out ahead of time because I could find out the previews and find that out.
Mickey did tag at contributor comms in a message in SIG ContribEx, which I guess was this week, where he listed out all of the feature blogs that are coming up and their PRs. So we have all of the PRs. I assume we can find the previews from that and find out what the URLs will be from that. But if we can find out when the Netlify thing runs, we can set those up.
It's working. Oh my gosh.
I do have an update on the RSS thing. Probably I'll discuss after the big ones.
Okay. Intended URLs and schedule these. Okay. We will come back to that. And Chris, next one is the Slack channel issue that you opened, which we talked a little bit about before we hopped on. But
so I opened an issue to get us a Slack channel because we've gotten to that point where it's like 5 people in a DM session, and then all of a sudden we need to add like 3 more kind of thing. So a Slack channel makes sense. In the actual issue that's linked, if I could find the notes, which are right here, Bob brings up a good point. It should probably be named like ContribEx something. But then I realized that like we're trying to align everything to contributor comms. So if we call the Slack channel anything other than contributor comms, it's going to be weird.
But it's also a sub project. Are there other sub projects that have their own channels? What are the naming conventions for that?
Normally it's like SIG or work group or whatever -thing what you are. So like Bob's suggestion it is accurate.
We could just make it super long and do SIG ContribEx contribcoms or something.
I think that works too, because of people like we need to have contributor comms, right? Like it's gonna have to be super long, which is stupid at this point, but
it's also fine.
Yeah. And Bob also said I'd lean towards, but he +1'd it. So we can ignore Bob's advice if we want.
That's true. Naming is a consideration.
I mean, what do you think, Ray? Because he said SIG ContribEx comms, which I guess if you search for comms, that works.
Yeah, that does work. Either of those works.
Yeah, like they both work. It's what do we want? That's kind of, I was hoping we had more people here with opinions.
Definitely not at 8 a.m.
I know, right? it's only 11 here. It's Friday, y'all. I got dressed. That's something.
Something. More than I did.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, I don't know how I feel. Like it would be the only thing that doesn't explicitly state contributor comms. Because like I'm going to change, it's contributor comms for the Slack handle that we have that notifies us. I'm going to up that so it doesn't say upstream market anymore. So it'll actually say contributor comms.
Yeah. And we're also planning, the next thing on this list is we're planning a rename of our repo.
Right, to contributor comms. Yeah. Which is kind of, that's what the Nexus was, right? Like, okay, we want to do a rename. All right, we need to find any place that links to the existing marketing team repo, which I have a tool, it's not working. I think I'm doing something wrong. I'll figure it out. But the tool on Mac is called Integrity, and it's 100% free, and you can like spider websites. If you have other tools that I could use, I'm more than happy to try them. I also need to just like maybe do a curl loop searching for that specific phrase. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Don't worry. But yeah, as soon as we update the GitHub repo, we need to go in and find those links and have PRs ready for them, basically. So yeah, it's a little bit more work, but I don't think there's many places where we're linked, to be honest. I think it's literally on the ContribEx pages, if anywhere.
Though we might find out exciting new things.
Yeah, that could be interesting. Yeah.
An interesting exercise. Cool. So I think that pretty much covers it. I'll check on the Slack channel issue again later. And I guess we need to create an issue for the GitHub repo rename and put it on hold until we
find
an integrity tool.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. If we hadn't opened one already, I forget. To be honest with you.
I don't think we've opened one already. Any other updates, big wins?
We did something last week, I feel like. We tweeted about the release and everything. That was all done. We scheduled comms for Contributor Summit. It's a big win. So
scheduled comms for Contributor Summit. And
which that email has to go out on Monday. Totally tangential to get the marketing team meeting, but Contributor Summit, the know before you go email has to go out on Monday. So Caslin and I were tag teaming that, and I kind of took my eye off the ball on like getting people to get it in. But I did do one nudge, I remember, earlier this week.
One nudge on what? Sorry, I was typing.
Nudge on the know before you go. Like, and I gave people a link, like put your stuff in here, you know?
Yeah, there's probably updated stuff that I need to do for Contributor Summit to comms.
Yeah, I mean, we have a good framework here, but
yeah,
I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe that's all we really need. But it's supposed to be like hi first name. I don't think we can do that right now with what we got. So I don't know whatever tool that we're using before, but we're just sending this from our emails. So we'll just say hello.
I noticed that the last email that you sent out was Chris Short on behalf of dev at Kubernetes.io or something.
Yeah, it was weird.
Weird.
The dev account. So Google Groups actually do some email header rewriting.
Mm-hmm.
So when you receive them, it looks like it was like intentionally sent from you. So like if you have a Google group sending email to another Google group, like I do, because my family has a Google group account where you could just like email us at chrisshort.net and you'd hit myself and my wife. And then when Max needs email, he'll get that one too. So when you do Google group to Google group, it makes it look like it came from your Google group, which makes it even worse, because you really don't want to subscribe from your own thing, or unsubscribe, I mean. So yeah, Google groups do weird things to email.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Leave that
I'm sure there's very legitimate reasons why, knowing as much as I know about email, probably deliverability being the #1 issue, but yeah.
Email is a trap that I do not want to get into.
No, you don't. Trust me. I worked at an MSP that did email for a while. It was awful.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like an awful experience. It was just like the work was awful. Anytime I had to touch that product. Ugh.
Sounds like it.
Uh-huh.
That's all I know about email. So we'll move on to campaigns in progress and open action items then. There are no more updates, big wins. The first item is from Atarva, who I don't actually see on the call, but I saw him type this. I assume that was Atarva who typed it. Just hopped in to give us a note, I guess, but couldn't be on.
That works. We like those.
or someone else put it in for him because we know about this. But anyway, Atarva very kindly, thank you, Atarva, even though you're not here, very kindly created an issue for us for requesting help on our KubeCon EU tweets. And he also created a Slack thread where interested folks could let us know that they're interested. And I've been pinging those folks directly to get them all of the instructions that they need to help us out with our KubeCon EU tweets. So we've had, I don't know, like 6 people or something offer to help out with that, which is wonderful.
Good job rallying.
Great number.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yay. And I initially started a group, coming back to the Slack groups conversation. I initially started a group with the few folks who pinged on like the first day and gave them the information. And then as more people said that they wanted to help, I realized that if I tried to add them to the Slack group, it would create a new Slack group. So I'd have to redo everything for everyone.
Yes, it stinks if you don't have a channel.
And so I've been messaging people directly to help get them all together. I meant to create a group for them this week and invite them all to this meeting, which I didn't do, which I'm very sad about.
It's okay.
But I'll try to make sure to do that for the next one.
But I want to have a channel for the next time, right?
Yeah, like, channel for the next time.
You should be adding people to this channel that we created.
Then they'd get everything.
I don't care. I want the channel thing done like this week, right? Like meaning next week. So in
people
the next
seem to be in favor. So
or the next meeting, I would like to have our channel. So if we decide on a name now, I can just be like, yo, this is what we want and done, or Caslin can or whatever. So SIG ContribEx comms or contributor comms. Do we stick with the normal or do we just go with what is called everywhere else? I want opinions. I don't care if they're right or wrong.
I kind of want to look through Slack and see what other examples of groups I can find before I make a decision. So
fair enough. But yeah, let me tag me in the contributor comms Slack handle and say Chris, or just put it in the actual the GitHub issue. Then done. That way, make it a priority somehow, some way.
It would also be easier if the name's shorter because we keep using it everywhere.
That's true, though it does autocomplete, so it's not too bad. Okay. So let's move on to the table, I suppose.
The table.
I also see that Hina is in our notes, but not here. Got a few people today who maybe were making updates in here, but couldn't attend today's meeting. Yep.
There you go.
She says that her PR is waiting for review though. Yay.
Which
so
PR?
Recap on this action item. We've assigned to Hina the job of creating a PR to create a team for us in GitHub so that when people create issues for our group, they can actually tag our group in them and we'll see them.
Nice.
Just kind of been an issue. So that's been getting kind of bumped for a while because there were some issues with getting it done at first, and then Hina had some stuff going on, but now we've got a PR for it, which is very exciting. And then once that team is in place on GitHub, we also want to update K-community issue template, I guess. Yeah. To alert our team when a new marketing issue is created, because we already have a way to create an issue against our team in K-community, which we're very bad at noticing. So yeah, we should definitely review Hina's PR. Yeah, you can see that the PR was initially made in March, but it had to have some changes made to it. I don't know. Looks like it's got some block on it too. We'll have to look over that. I'm gonna move on from that for now, and we can come back to it. Cool. Oh yeah, we were talking about Hina's stuff that she's needed to do for that, and we were mentioning that we should probably create a tweet about squashing commits using Tide.
I just wrote a blog post about that on my own blog.
Oh, nice.
We could totally cross-post it, but I very much wrote it from a first-person point of view. I did not write it for the dev site.
Yeah.
So feel free to copy pasta any of that.
Maybe rework it a little bit to talk about Kubernetes bots.
I literally would, like, I think the title is like Tide and Prow.
Oh, okay.
For new contributors or whatever. It was designed to focus on that / label Tide thing that we discovered many weeks ago. So yeah.
Lovely. So if anyone wants to write a tweet on that.
I know it's actually preferred that people squash their own commits, and there's a reason why. And there's, I have to find it in Slack as well. I think it's about how if there's multiple people contributing to a PR, if Tide does it, it loses those other folks, and only the person who made the PR will get credit for it. So I think there's some, I need to find out about it. But there's,
are you sure about that? Because Bob is recommending it to me on a regular basis.
Because I know,
I don't think
Tim recommends not doing it.
Oh, interesting.
And he put a reason why. I have to find out. I have to look it up again. And he gave a good reason why. So I'll look for it.
Damn it, he's foiled my blog post.
Just means you need another blog post.
Right. I hadn't posted since January, so I was like, what was something really quick I could write a blog post about? This just came up, so I was like, I can do that.
Yeah, I'll find out that reason.
Thank you. I'll just have to put a caveat in here. If you want to read the blog post, it's here. I'll drop it in chat.
Sounds good.
They even made a fancy logo for it.
Cool. So it's not urgent that we create a tweet on that, and it sounds like we might want to do some research before we do, but I'm going to leave that there though, because it'd be nice to do more contributor tip tweets. Maybe I can figure that out and schedule it to go out during the contributor summit. Wouldn't that be cool?
Right.
Guess I'm thinking about things that I should do while I'm at the contributor summit. I should probably live tweet that. I wonder if I should also do some stuff from Kate's contributors while I'm doing that. Yeah. That sounds complicated. Relating to attribution. Okay.
We have
noted that.
Expectedly few results. That's not good.
Research required. So I'm just going to leave that as it is right now. And the next thing is Rajula's.
Yes. I'm sorry for the delay on this. I've been on holidays and taking this time. So I managed to write up how to do it. I'll actually have the issues somewhere down. So I managed to write up everything, what we need to do. So we just have to make some changes to existing thing in order to integrate it. If I have time, I'm planning to get it done next week, but if someone wants to help or pick it up, it would be great. Once we have these changes, then we can do the working session to show other folks how do we integrate it.
Yeah, we should ping Atharva, Avinash, and
Nigel. Yeah, we have a thread going on. Okay. But if you guys want to look at the issue and give you feedback, that would be great.
Cool.
Nice.
Sounds good. Exciting to see some progress there. Very nice. And I know several of the folks in our group have been looking for opportunities to learn more on the technical side. So I'm glad that we have this project kind of going on for them now. Because Chris and I are not that.
I think we're tapped out, to be honest with you. As far as our capacity, I know I am.
Yeah. Definitely got a lot going on, especially with KubeCon coming,
Like next week, I'm telling my team, like, by the way, KubeCon is next week. Aside from this one day where I'm doing live streams, everything else is going to be focused on KubeCon.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, what are you doing? And I'll be like, I have no idea. I'm just getting ready.
As much as I can. That's what I'm doing. And so we'll move on to the next item, which is the Twitter Together issue. We're planning to get a buffer account to address this instead now. I should probably just like reword this action item, which is scheduling
Get
tweets.
Buffer account. Yeah.
Scheduling tweets is what started that conversation.
Yeah.
Buffer account sounds very exciting. So they said that they would try to speed that up and get it done before KubeCon, though I don't think that really matters.
No.
But we'll see when it comes out.
Yeah, once we get funding and everything, and we can set up a team, it'll be great.
Yep. And we have a note to check in with that after KubeCon. I think that'd be an awesome time for us to go through the process of setting that up, everybody learning this new tool. That'll be fun. That
would be fun to do it in person. Absolutely.
Oh, that's true too. But I was thinking after KubeCon to do just like once we've got that.
Oh, absolutely. We need to make a video as well. Yeah.
Off of our task lists. It'll be a little bit easier for us to do it. So we'll move on to the next item. Unless anybody wants to talk more about Buffer, we can always do that. Role description for the events role. I promised Avinash that I would help out with that, and I still haven't. Imagine that. KubeCon's coming. Things tend to get pushed. But I know, Avinash, you're in the middle of exams as well. So, I mean, there's nothing urgent.
I'm done with my exams.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Congratulations on being done. That is
a hard feat.
The important thing.
Yeah.
Cool. So if you wanted to work on that, you could. Like I said, I was going to try to do a draft for you, and I very much apologize that I haven't managed to do that. But
I'll try to do it.
Cool. If you want any help or anything, of course, ping. Much better at doing work when I'm pinged about it, honestly. As much as I hate that I need that, I do. People are always apologizing to me like, I'm sorry, I'm nagging you about this thing. And I'm like, no, nag me. Otherwise, it's not going to get done.
Please nag me.
Yes. Anyway, so we'll move on from that. Thank you very much, Avinash, for your work on that so far and for what you'll be doing on that. And I'm happy to help out with that wherever I can, as long as I can remember to do it. And then the next one is tweeting about feature blogs. I've assigned that to myself, and I actually did something on it. Totally didn't expect that I had something on here that I made progress on.
Wow. Here we go.
But we did tweet about the release blog. We tweeted the Docker shim history blog.
Yeah.
Both of those were day of release. And then there was another blog that came out yesterday that was a feature blog. And I also made sure to tweet about that, which I was very proud of myself for, because I was just manually checking the blog site.
We won't have to manually check it anymore.
That'll be nice. That'll be
great.
nice. It looks like there is another feature blog out already today, so I'll go ahead and do that after this meeting. Oh my goodness, I have so many GitHub things open.
Why is this thread so long?
Both Chris and I look at something that makes us go, oh my gosh, at the same moment. So I'm working on that. If anyone wants to help out with writing feature blogs, like we said, we do have the schedule. We need to go through those steps to figure out what the links are going to be for those and figure out what the timing is going to be on when they're going to be out so that we can figure out when they need to go. We probably need to actually schedule them instead of putting them into GitHub. So maybe that just stays with me. But anyway, moving on to the next item. Kaslin and Chris are assigned to reviewing the repo. I assume neither of us have made progress on that this week. we had some other stuff that we got done, which is great. So
yeah, it's that weird time of year where we're at a point where certain things will take priority and some things will have to slide backwards.
Yeah. So no
And
progress
like
on this
certain
yet.
things that will just come up and take priority. I should be more clear.
So we'll check back in on our updating our repo with roles after KubeCon. Sound like a good plan?
Yeah, why not?
Cool. Unless we work on it during KubeCon, who knows?
We could totally, I mean, there is a contributor summit.
Yeah, we might do that during the contributor summit, actually. Yeah, I'm not going to write that down here, but
yeah, marketing roles.
It might be good to do, actually.
Marketing roles, GitHub, marketing to contributor comms. That's a sticky note I have.
Excellent. If it's on a sticky note, you know it's a real task.
Right. It's the only paper I write on is sticky notes.
Okay. I am surrounded by sticky notes. Okay, so next issue is our KubeCon EU tweet spreadsheet. There's a link to it there, also a link to the issue that Atharva created, which we talked about earlier. We've got a new person in here. Normally we have some time at the beginning for new folks, but we didn't have anyone new in at the time. But now we've got Rajesh, who is helping out with the KubeCon tweets. So Rajesh, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Kathleen. So I think we spoke each other yesterday. So regarding this, so yeah, so thank you for for that. So myself, Rajesh. So I'm a recent or a newly joined contributor in the SIG contributor experience group. So and started working on a couple of the tweet tasks. So I have tagged my name on top of 2 tweets and made some updates and also updated the same in the sheet which we are tracking for the maintainer tracks basically. So and yeah, I got some help from the Atharva and I think Meha that the tweet got a little exceeded the character limit and then they helped me to trim it a bit and then yeah, it's all good now. So coming to my basically I am located in Europe, Netherlands. So I work for a telco operator or customer in the Netherlands. So my background is mostly into telco infra, architecting, deploymenting, and designing roles. So looking more into the Kubernetes era domain. So just wanted to contribute back to the community and learn from the community and yeah, going with the journey. Yeah.
Thank you so much for contributing to our KubeCon tweet planning. It's very much appreciated. And we're excited that you joined us today.
Yes, very excited.
Thank you, Kathleen. Yeah, hi. Thank you, Chris. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Completely tangential question.
Wonderful.
Is there a script to download all the repos under Kubernetes? Because I'm going to have to do this by hand.
That's a good question.
Sworn there was. But there was a
I
way.
do not know of one.
I don't know of one either. There was a way to do it. I know.
On the KubeCon tweets, though, if you all check out that spreadsheet, you'll see that most of them are actually claimed. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of them drafted already out of the, 42 that I have planned. So pretty good progress. We want to try to get them done by the end of next week at least, because I need to schedule them before I leave. So hopefully get them done before Friday. Rajesh has at least one that I need to review. There's several in here that I need to review, and I haven't been able to get it done this week. So I'm going to make sure that I make time for that today. And also, like I mentioned earlier, I'm planning to get all of the folks who are working on that together into a group. We're going to fix that once we have a channel, but I'll probably make a group for them still in the meantime. to make sure that everybody's good to go and supported and everything. So review KubeCon tweets, putting that on my to-do list right now.
No, I don't want to download Kubernetes.
Or do you? You don't.
Actually, I do.
You kind of do, actually.
Yeah.
But also you don't. All right, so that's the updates on KubeCon tweets. If anyone wants to help out with that, you're most welcome. The spreadsheet is right there. If you need any help, reach out. So let's move on to the next issue. Atarva went ahead and created an issue for the KubeCon tweets. So I'm gonna get rid of that line. Thank you very much to Atarva, even though he's not here once again. The next one is Chris, update GitHub repo to contributor comms name. Working on that actively right now. In progress.
Yeah.
Next one is Perniswar.
I have enough disk for this.
Yeah, you probably don't.
I probably don't on this machine. You're right. Yeah. All right, time to spin up the server with a terabyte of data. Yeah.
Time to turn up that data center rack that you have in your garage. Had the opportunity to do that once and did not do it because that sounds terrible. Anyway. Perniswar is not here at the moment. He's also one of those folks who's been dealing with exams. So that makes sense. But once he gets back, probably after KubeCon, he said on hold until the end of the month. But he's planning to create a new SIG Spotlight blog post review for those who are not familiar with it. We, since our inception as a group in 2020, we've had this ongoing kind of background project where we try to not regularly at all, sometimes create blog posts where we interview SIG chairs about their SIG and talk about what those SIGs do, what help they need, all of that kind of stuff, and put that into a blog post. So that's an ongoing open action item. If people want to create blog posts for that, they are welcome to. You should reach out to me for help on that. We have some materials in our repo that can help you out with those projects, and they take quite a bit of time to complete because you have to work with the SIG chairs to actually interview them and then convert that interview into a blog post and then go through the blog process. So it takes time, but it's not that
complicated. Highly recommend doing it by email. That's been the feedback we've got.
Yeah. Chris tried doing it via a video once, which I found that video really helpful because I ended up
the video was helpful, but when Ahmed went to go and change it, it was just awful because he was like, you gave me the transcript, but like I needed to get just a part of one sentence here and there and there. So it was like constantly hunting and searching. It
is really nice to do it async over like a Google Doc or something. That's how I did mine.
Nice.
Because when you ask the questions in the Google Doc, for one, it took forever for me to get them to actually write their answers in it. But once the answers were in there, I could just copy paste them into the blog post, which is most of what I did. So makes it easy. Anyway, like I said, if you want to help with that, ping me and I'll get you going on it. But we probably won't do anything on it until after KubeCon. So, because I'm not going to have that much space to help until then, at least. And all of the SIG chairs are going to be super busy until after KubeCon. So probably not a good idea to attempt to do anything with that until June.
I was just about to try that, Avinash. Literally just about to try that.
Wonderful. Thank you, Avinash. But now you've got it there and you can just copy.
Copy it and I can SSH into this server first. It's got lots of disk.
The next item on our action items that we're reviewing is Katakata review for Harshita. This is kind of low priority for us right now with KubeCon coming, so it hasn't happened. We apologize, Harshita, who's not here. But, Harshita is one of the mentors from mentoring group, I think, who created a katakota for Kubernetes. I think related to Deba Brada's work in that space, and Deba hasn't been on for a bit either. I think he's also got exams. But anyway, so she created a katakoda and asked us if we would review it. And we said, if we have time, and we haven't had time. So it's still on our list. If anyone wants to review the katakoda, there's the link, and you would ping any feedback directly to Harshita on Slack. So anyone who wants to pick that up is welcome to it, but I'm not going to assign anyone to it until after KubeCon at least. Next one. I still have this one on here. Chris, I wanted to ask for your opinion on this, I guess. You know anything about the batch focus colo? I think that's like a CNCF one, so that's why we wanted a special tweet about it. I don't have a special tweet for
focus colo?
Yeah. I think Bob asked for a specific tweet on that.
That's new. Let me go to the KubeCon site. I haven't seen that one.
It's a thing. I think it's a CNCF one.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I need to actually add that to the spreadsheet probably.
Did you say telco or batch?
Batch
Okay, yeah,
focused
batch
colo.
HPC is new. Yeah.
Is there a telco one too?
There is a telco one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's on the 16th.
Rajesh
So-
might be interested in that.
There's
So,
actually a lot of people interested in that.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Uh,
but you'd have to be attending KubeCon for it. We discussed the
Yeah,
complexities around KubeCon.
Really challenging for me. Yeah.
Yeah, but next year you'll
1
know
week
at
and
least
3 days.
about
oh
that.
boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Don't say that. Also do say that because I want it to be here, but also
Yeah, so
I
there's
don't.
the event page for it. Yeah, I didn't even know this
Wonderful.
was a thing. Why batch and HPC? I don't know, but makes sense, I guess.
When I do my work with reviewing the existing tweets in the KubeCon tweets schedule, I will
know.
also do this.
I'm curious if Bob asked you, given the sponsor is only Google Cloud, if Bob asked you in the CNCF Slack or in Google Slack. Or
That is a
whatever
good
you all
question,
use.
because that could be a thing. If the sponsor is just Google, then I won't add it to our spreadsheet.
Okay. Yeah, the sponsor is just Google. It's hosted by CNCF.
Aren't all of the colos hosted by CNCF?
Right,
I guess they're-
exactly.
Okay.
You know,
So then, yeah, I'm going to ignore that.
yeah.
It would make sense for him to have asked me in work Slack because I don't handle tweets for Google. But I don't know,
yeah.
whatever. I'm just going to ignore that.
Mhm.
I've got enough tweets to do. Anyway, the next one
I have a lot of work tweets to
is
do too.
tweet about upcoming release webinar, which does not deserve to be at the bottom of the table now, but
Now that it's so soon.
yeah, now that it's actually happening.
Mm.
What is happening now? Added a new row to the table, new column to the table.
Mm.
I didn't mean to do that. Did I do that?
I'm on the KubeCon site. Sorry.
I guess I did
there's-
that somehow.
Yeah. I don't know.
Delete row. Okay. And then I'll sign the tweet about the upcoming release webinar to myself too, because I'm going to have to schedule those other tweets around the release features. So I'll figure that out. And that's our table.
That's our table.
Yay, we did it.
Yay, table. Hey, like 12 minutes to spare.
Oh, there's another. I need to reorder this. There's also another new item that Rajula wanted to talk about. Or did we talk about that in the campaigns in progress, actually? Managed to figure out how to integrate RSS action with our workflow. I think that we already talked
We
about
talked
that.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like we got to wait on buffer for that.
It's not
right
really a
now.
new item.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'll have to touch base with Nigel because he's doing some automation stuff already. So he might have a Zapier or an if this and that for us already that we could just tap into. But
I think Rajula is working with Nigel on that.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
At least he's on the list of people.
I remember getting told this. Somebody has scolded me for this before, and it was Chasm. I'm not saying you scolded me. I'm saying you said exactly this.
He's like, I don't remember scolding anyone. Okay. So I think we're good on that. Working session items, calendar walk. We don't do that anymore. Tweet draft PRs. Do we have any out right now? Let's check.
No, I just checked. At least I checked before the meeting, I should say.
Oh, nice. Visual created a new issue for us on the blog post automation. I mean, it's lovely if we can get it involved into GitHub too. I don't think we should get rid of GitHub even when we have Buffer.
Oh yeah, I think there's still some viability there once some things get fixed. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Buffer will be probably better. Eventually, if we decide that Buffer's the only thing that we want to have, we can get rid of it. But having the GitHub workflow is kind of integrated into the Kubernetes contributor workflow is very nice. Very, very cool. Issue walk, main project for contributor comms. Like this right now. Blog post that need review. That is something we should look at more regularly. Check repos for new work. I'm not going to do those right this second, but those are things that we could do if we have time. But I want to see, does anyone have any questions, any other things that they want to bring up that we haven't covered in our session today so far? Oh, the release team shadow application closes today.
Yes.
I should do another tweet on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let me write that on my to-do list before I forget it.
Closes end of day Pacific time. I'm actually gonna probably wait till very, very late tonight to close it. Probably midnight. So
that'll be good.
To make it, everyone's end of day is different. So I want to make sure I cover everyone's end of day.
Yeah.
Might even be early in the morning. So
I will make sure to send out an additional tweet on that. I might just retweet what we already have, so that won't take me long.
That works.
I have to rebook a flight.
One to Valencia? Or the
They've
one
added a 14-hour layover just now.
For you. Wow. They were just like, we know you want this, so
yeah,
okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Sorry, we moved a plane somewhere.
Oh boy.
Mine was also adjusted as well.
I know.
Interesting.
Mine was adjusted, but it was actually adjusted so I had 6 hours. And then Justin Garrison was like, hey, I just got an update. So I checked mine and I was like, damn it. So now I might be taking a train from Barcelona. We'll see.
That seems to be a common thing. There's just not enough capacity coming into Valencia. We are just going to destroy the city. Not actually destroy it, obviously.
Much.
This is
recorded, we're going to overrun it for sure.
We're going to overrun the city. On that note, we should probably swap to just our casual conversation after the recording. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now. Thank you, everyone, for joining.